Good morning! It's nearly Easter. How are you doing?
Very good.
Yeah?
Yes.
We've got a few days till Easter, but we thought we would start your festive weekend with some chocolate nests. So we have got a lined muffin tin, just with some cupcake cases in. We've then got some yummy dairy milk chocolate, some mini eggs, lots of mini eggs, we won't use all of those. I've got some marshmallows here and some butter. And we have got Special K. Now what I would usually do for nests is try and get hold of some shredded wheat, because obviously the wheaty strands etc. make better nests. Otherwise we can use cornflakes, and instead of marshmallows you can use golden syrup. So I think that we're ready to go. You'll need a whisk or a wooden spoon, a nice mixing bowl, and I've got a pan with some water just up to about there. We're gonna put our chocolate in there to melt. So we're gonna break up our chocolate, just roughly. Ours hasn't been in the fridge, so it'll melt quite quickly. I think we're gonna do both of our things. Another option, so if you don't want to break it up, if your chocolate is quite hard, you can smash it. So without it being open, break it up inside.
Fun for the kids.
Fun for the kids, give it a smack. Not too hard, because otherwise it'll come out the end. This is obviously a very good recipe that you can do with children, because it's obviously quite easy. There isn't that much actual cooking. It's more about stirring. We're now going to add a little bit of butter. So our chocolate, just for measurements, we did just shy of 400 grams.
Why is that?
Because I ate some of it. So for that, we're going to do about 50 grams of butter. You don't have to put butter in if you're wanting it to be vegan and you're using dark chocolate. Just don't put the butter in and use golden syrup instead of marshmallows. A good trick with golden syrup is if you get some olive oil or sunflower oil, flavourless oil, so just brush a little bit of oil onto the spoon, and then pour your golden syrup on and then into the bowl, and it will slip off because of the oil rather than getting sticky. And we're going to add our marshmallows. We're going to do...
And what do the marshmallows do?
They add the sweetness. Because we're using Special K, they'll add the sweetness, and they'll also go really sticky and yummy, which will make the nest sort of set better. The chocolate and the butter will obviously let them set, but then they'll make them chewier. So I put in probably about a handful or two of marshmallows. If I was doing golden syrup, I would do probably a couple of tablespoons of golden syrup. So I'm now going to put this onto a medium heat to melt, and we'll come back to it. So we have been melting this for probably about 10 minutes. You want to try, I've moved it around a little bit, but you want to try and just let it sit and do its work. Otherwise, sometimes the chocolate can go grainy because it splits. So just let it carry on. This has been about 10 minutes. It'll probably be another 10 to 15. Top tip for melting chocolate: if you are melting a higher cocoa solid, so 70% cocoa chocolate, it will be better. If you are melting dairy milk, as we are, with a lower cocoa percentage, then adding the butter will help to allow your chocolate not to split. Also, another tip for you: if you are melting chocolate au bain-marie as we are today, then just try not to touch it. I know that people love to stir, etc. Try to just leave it, and then hopefully it will just melt down nicely and won't go grainy. Okay, so we have now finished melting. Just a little tip: if your chocolate splits slightly when it's melting, that might be the combination of the butter to chocolate not quite working. I would actually suggest, which ours luckily hasn't, but potentially melt your butter and your chocolate and then add your marshmallows. Ours is now quite sticky, but as you can see, it sort of runs off the spoon. This is the consistency that you want. So now we're going to go in with Special K. We're Add a bit at a time because then you can judge how many you're going to need. It also doesn't matter if they get a bit crunched. So as you can see, we're going to need a few more because that's too much chocolate. We seem to have made enough of these for 100 people, which is good. Another thing you can do if your chocolate does split out, to add a little bit of the water, the bain-marie water that's underneath your bowl, and then stir as you go. So get someone to help you if you need, and just add a little bit at a time. As you can see now, I think our Special K are nicely coated. So once you are all stirred in, we're going to move our tray, and with some tablespoons, just going to get spoonfuls of our mix and pop it into the trays. We've got quite large muffin trays and cases, so you can be generous and fill them up. So now we've got our tray ready. Now it's time to decorate and make them more nests. So we're going to add 3 and push them in slightly. 3 little mini eggs. Pushing them into a nest shape. Once they're all filled, they'll then look like this. And then we're going to just pop them into the fridge for about 2 hours so that they set nicely. And then we'll give you a look at what they look like once they're set. So we've left our nests in the fridge overnight, just so they're really hard. I'm going to give you a little show now.
Look at those.
They are delicious. Weirdly, if you counted them, you'll notice that a couple are missing. I think that might have been you, Mr. Wardy.
Yeah, sorry.
Taste testing. So, those are now done. Those delicious chocolate nests came as a request from Emily Woodfield. So I hope you enjoy making them this weekend with Will. I look forward to seeing lots of pictures of everyone's. Please do send those through along with other requests. I seem to have an ever-growing list now of things, so you're keeping me busy in quarantine and Adam even busier. Tomorrow, we're going to be doing a fish pie recipe, which you'll need some salmon, some prawns, some haddock and some cod if you've got all of those. We've actually done ours just with salmon and prawns. You'll also need mashed potato, milk, butter, any vegetables you want to put in it. We put some leeks in. A good thing for Good Friday supper. So we'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thank you.